Don't you just hate it? You've been playing for hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, and you get down to the end. You know it's coming. The final boss, that last fight scene, that last cinematic, all the weeks and hours and time of culminations led up to that point. And then it's the end of the game. All the anxiety fades away. All of the pains and frustration cease. Everything just becomes soft. Soft and gentle. And then you realize it. It's the end of the game. There's not gonna be no more of those nights you staying up all night doing it. There's not gonna be any more of those cutting it close because you gotta work in the morning and you played from sundown to sun up. You're at the end of the game. Why is it so heartbreaking? Why is it so emotional? I have a theory about that. Hi, I'm the Game Ninja, and this is my game dojo. Yes, we are all things gaming. A concept has occurred to me between us, the gamer, and the gaming industry. Playing a game is a little bit like being in a relationship. From the moment you see it, there's oohs and ahs and butterflies in the stomach. Or you don't like it because, you don't like that person or that thing. You see the trailers, you get wooed by all the beautiful looks, the glances, the smiles, the winks, the graphics. You get infatuated and flustered, this feelings of euphoria. All of it is love. You're falling in love. A new game, a continuation of a game that you haven't played in a very long time. It's the same reason why the end of the game feels so heartbreaking, because it's a breakup. It's the ending of a relationship. And games, great games, are love affairs. Some of us sometimes have to take a break in the relationship because we get too frustrated, too much anger, too much pain. So we have to take a break from the relationship, and we'll come back to it again a month later, weeks later. In my case, Elden Ring, I had to take a break for a few months. For many of you know how frustrating a relationship. Now the funny part is, in these relationships that we're in, we find ourselves cheating sometimes because something new comes along with the oohs and the ahs and the fluttering and the fine ass self, and we find ourselves cheating on our current relationship with another relationship. Gamers have this problem quite frequently lately. We jump into relationships back and forth while we're in a relationship and dating a game. I like the game makers aspect, real game makers aspects, because there's some where we have horrible relationships and breakups and we don't ever want to see them again. We'll never date that franchise again, and it's completely horrid. And then we have some game makers that get it, because as you come down to the end of that relationship and you realize the game is ending and you're like, what am I going to do now? I've dedicated so much time into my character and effort into this. What am I going to do now? And as the credits roll, you get that break in the blackness. And most of us don't know. Most of us, we have a feeling, but we don't know. Because this is not a Marvel or a cinematic universe movie, so what's the break in the credits? Only the main storyline is ended. There's still more to do. There's still more to play. Yes. It doesn't have to end. The relationship doesn't have to abruptly end. We get carried on with DLC, more missions, more parts of the game. The main story is over, but we're still in this relationship and it ends well. You game makers, I salute you, because you get the gaming relationship between gamer and the game. You get that feeling that you can't just drop them and leave them high and dry. I love that. Just recently I did Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil Village, and at the end, when I was just like, wow, I gotta jump into another game or something, there was more storyline, more DLC, more to do. Kakarot, main storyline over, there's still more to do. Mario Odyssey, all game makers, Sony, Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Sega, they're all have these game makers that do this every once in a while. And my hat goes off to you, because for those of us in these dating relationships, these gaming relationships, breakups can be very harsh, man. Tears in your eyes. And I love some of those stories in these aspects, because it makes the relationship better between the game makers and the game players. Hogwarts Legacy is one of those. Spoilers, if you haven't finished the game yet, you might want to look away, turn away, whatever. There's a part of the game that I didn't see coming, and I loved it. The aspect was people you friend along the way in the game and the relationships that you forge. In the end of the game, when you're outnumbered and your back is against the wall, these relationships that you forged, people, and they give you choices. Some people you can do dirty, some people you cannot do relationships with at all, but the people you have those positive relationships for you start the separating and landing in different places, and they're here and they got your back, and it's such a great moment that people you met during the game show up for you in this final battle. Not too many games have the ability to make you that emotional in the aspect, and I loved it. Warner Brothers, Portkey Games, excellent job. But this is what I'm talking about when I say the relationship between gamers. It's like being in love. You start dating this game, it goes on for weeks, months, sometimes years. You stay with the franchise, you stay loyal. Some of us are cheaters. When that new beautiful sexy game comes out, we look at it, our eyes are all big. Right now I'm dating currently several games, and I just saw Mortal Kombat, and she looking pretty sexy right now. That Mortal Kombat one, I'm not gonna lie, she looking pretty sexy. But I don't think nobody's ever equated the relationship aspect between us and the games. We go through their highs, their lows, their triumphs, the agony of defeat, the joy of victory, even the frustrations. Elden Ring, this game being one of them. Elden Ring is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played in my life. And like I said, we were on a break for many months. Take the controller off my neck. We were on a break for many months because I had died more than, I think I lost count after 874 times. After 874 times, I had pretty much stopped counting. The game itself did some very bad things. It's beautiful. Graphics, everything. Phenomenal. I was in love. But it was an abusive relationship. It was a very abusive relationship. But after a few months, I came back and dated it again with a different mindset. I had grown, they had DLCs, they had grown, so our relationship came back together again. Now there still were frustrations, but I could manage them better when I came back. And we ended the relationship on very beautiful terms. Very beautiful terms. But you ask yourself, why do you have these emotions at the end of the game that it's over? Like, what do I do now? It's because you're in a breakup. You're in a breakup phase. So yeah, playing a game is a lot like a relationship. It's a lot like dating someone. Highs, lows, pains, good, bad, breakups, and even those love affairs. Gaming. The relationship of gaming. And dating a game. By Raincrow the Game Ninja. Thank you.